Hello guys and welcome to another episode of Adventure Bay, episode 4, and in this episode we are going to take a look at something completely new, completely different, and something you haven't seen a million times before. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to take another look at the entrance in the main street, of course. As you saw in the disclaimer, I'm sorry, I'm just getting real tired of this episode or about this area of the park for some reason, because I have to explain. As you all know, I'm quite perfectionistic in a way, where I want something to look completely the way I like it, and not that I not liked the previous version which I showed in the last episode, but something that occurred to me was that everything that I was building in the parking lot in the main street, and to me, it was looking like a copy of what I was referencing from. So the parking lot was, of course, the Efteling, as I explained, and the main street was, and the whole entrance area overall. It was all basically a inspiration from Port of Entry, Island of Adventure. And for some reason, I felt like the main street, as I built it and showed it to you guys in the previous episode, it was just getting a copy of what the Port of Entry and Island of Adventure really is. And that was the whole point of me starting this project and, kind of quitting Allura Hills, is that I wanted to build more original stuff and not basically copying stuff that exists in real life or either other Planko players build. And not to say that it was a complete copy or anything. It wasn't. There still were some original things in there, but I felt like it was looking the same, and I wanted to try something different. And it has become quite a bit of a joke with me and some guys on Bro Nation and on Twitter, that I started doing this again and again and again, because you might not know this, but over the time that I released the previous episode, which was I think 3 months ago, just before the studio spec was released, or I think it was, and this one, I showed a lot of stuff on Bro Nation most of all, and I think I did like 5 different versions of what I'm going to show you right now. And in total, I think that I did this main street, or this entrance area, so to say. I think I made 10 versions in total. But on the bright side of that is that the main street and the parking lot and the entrance is finally finished, or at least in such a state where I'm happy with the results. I'm not going to change it again, and I'm just going to show it off. The only thing that there's left to do is adding foliage around the parking lot and continue with the actual park, which I haven't actually done. I've tested some things out, and you will see some tests when I show it to you, when we walk down the main street, of course. But yeah, that's just some testing out, and I haven't really delved into much of the park itself. Actually, I have some ideas, and I think I'm going to explain it later on in the video. But for now, I'm just going to show off the entrance and the main street, explain a little bit about my thoughts, what I did with the area, and what I want to do later on in the park, and how it fits in, I think. So yeah, strap on. It's going to be a snarky ride. I'm just getting tired of this area, and I want to continue, but I need to show it to you. Or, well, I don't need to, but I want to show it to you. That's all. So as you can see, we are at the parking lot at the moment. I changed it a little bit as well. Well, not a little bit. I completely redid it. So this is not exactly the same. I based this off the parking lots in Walt Disney World. I'm guessing all the parking lots on the Disney properties all over the world are pretty much the same in the way they laid out, but this is, I think it was Blizzard Beach where I based this from. I'm not really sure. Anyway, the idea is there. So this is just one big concrete slab, and we'll continue to the main path. So basically all the cars are going to go here. And then over here we have this strip in the middle, which I'm heading to right now. And this, on the other side of that, there is the bus stop. So what I'm thinking is that there is a large resort like Disney World has, but this can also be, but not really. So there are buses from the park itself going to different hotels around the park, but there will also be regular buses, so bus line 1 to the town center or anything, or just like that. I'm not really sure. Yeah, but I imagine, I think it was a nice idea of see that. Of course, in Disney World they only use buses from the Disney World itself, so they only go to different parks and different hotels there. But Adventure Bay is not really scaled to a adventure or a wild world, a Disney World type of thing. So this is the parking lot. It's quite big actually. I was really surprised and at scale and how fast it was going. Actually, I think I built it in a total day, spread out over 2 days, of course. But I think I built this in 1 day in total, and as I said, it's not finished. There needs to come some foliage around the perimeter, but overall, I really dig this. So we're slowly going to go to the entrance, and of course, as you can see on the top left, the lighthouse is emerging out of the woods, basically. So the lighthouse is something that I tried to change over here. Actually, I tried to position it down at the main street to give a little bit of a centerpiece kind of feel, but with a shop underneath it. But that didn't work for me, so I moved it back to the entrance. And then on the right, you see the little tower over there. That's the group entrance, if you remember correctly. I tried to move that to the left of the lighthouse, but that didn't work out. So what I did basically is kept it in the same layout as it was, so that we have the lighthouse on the left. And it is there because, as you can see from the parking lot itself, it actually is kind of a big forest over here. You don't see that much. So having the lighthouse, you can see it in the middle of the main street, of the parking lot. Everywhere in the parking lot, you get this look on the look of the lighthouse, and it kind of draws you into there. So that's basically a little thing. It's still a centerpiece, and of course still a weenie, as Silverette would say, but yeah, it's a nice little thing. I still love it. I'm still so in love with how it turned out and how I did it, and even though it was like 6 months ago when I built it or anything, I just love it. Okay, so like I said, it's not really much different this time around, just it's much more compact in a sense. So of course we have got the lighthouse, and on the left of that we have some toilets. Then we have the semicircle with ticket booths, but also the big opening. I removed the planter. I think it was in a previous episode. I'm not really sure if it was or wasn't, but there used to be a planter over here, and I removed that just so the guest flow would go easier, because this park would be in present day, so imagine that lots of people already purchased their ticket online or anything, so they can go straight to the ticket control and go over there. So we also have this this nice little thing over here. They're pointing you at every little thing. This is one of those features that I want to keep in the park as well, to keep it a bit coherent. There is one at the end of the main street as well, and I want maybe 2 or 3 in every area of the park, so you can have a direction of where to go to. And I'm not really sure if I'm going to put, of course, over here in the entrance I put like services to where the services are, but I'm not really sure if I'm going to go with area names or popular rides, because most parks I know use, for example, the popular rides. For example, if there was a coaster on the left, there would be the name of the coaster on there, and the same would go on the ride with maybe a dark ride or anything, just the popular attractions. I'm not really sure if I'm going to do that or just say the area names. So yeah, we'll see about that. I'm not really settled down on that anyway. So and on the right, of course, like I said, the group entrance with some planters in front. So this was, well, it wasn't as big of a square as it was in previous version, but I thought it's nice to add something. It breaks up a little bit of the plaza itself. So, and as you can see, there is a path heading in this direction. So what I'm imagining is that this path will go to one of the hotels, which is located nearby the entrance. I'm not really sure what kind of style I'm going with. Maybe in the style of one of the areas of the park, maybe this style, I'm not really sure. Maybe just a generic hotel, I'm not really sure. It's just going to be a path down to the hotel. Calm down, relax, jeez. Okay, so, well, yeah. So that's basically it. Let's go to the park. So this hasn't changed anything. There's still some nice little trees to provide some shade, and of course a nice little look with the ticket booths, or the ticket control and the gate there in the middle. Something that I did add was the guest service. It's a little bit tucked away, but I imagine there is a bigger facility in the main street itself. So this is just for really important before or after the park visits, the things you need to ask. For example, lost tickets, lost season passes or anything like that. Maybe, of course, there's security in there, so maybe if someone destroyed your car in the parking lot, I don't know, you could go here and be helped with that, I think. So let's head into the park itself. We need to buy tickets, of course. Oh, well, we already did online. You know, we are smart. We want to head in right away. So we go in over here. There's no... So let's go. Yep, we are inside. And then there's this little plaza just to group with everything. With everyone, I mean. And of course the three different entrances. Our little bridges to the real world, and we have these little things. Of course, I think they were made by Ryan in their zoo project, and I kindly borrowed them. Thanks. It's just a nice little thing, and that's the beauty of the community. I think they just come up with crazy ideas, and which I would never have come up with myself. So yeah, thanks, man. You're not even watching, but probably, I guess. I don't know, but anyway, thanks. So let's take this path. No, let's take the middle. I will show that then in a second. So if you go this one, this is the biggest, you will see parts of the main street. Yeah, it's not really that big, as you can see. It ends almost immediately after heading in. So this is just a little bit of a facility type of thing. So we have over on the right, we have the toilets, men and women, of course. No, just men and women. I'm not going to dwell in that thing. We have a souvenir shop, including an interior, which I'm going to show in a second. Then, of course, the passage to the main street. We have a fake facade, and this building over here is going to be the security. So this would do that as well. It would serve as a security. So whenever something break the law of the park or anything, they could come over here. Yeah, just regular things. I don't know what happened. I've never been to a security in an amusement park actually, so I don't know. I don't know. So then over here we have the lockers, the stowaway storage. It's just fairly simple, not that really much into it. And then of course a little passage as well. If this gets crowded and you want to go to the park and don't buy anything or something, you can go over here. And this is a nice little nod to it's a bit tacky, of course, because it's called Adventure Bay and your adventure starts here. This is something that is written as well over the portal in Island of Adventure, Ports of Entry, but you know, it was a nice touch, and I thought, well, we can add it. You know, it's in one of the previous versions. Talking is really hard, guys. Sorry. There is I had a big arch over here, so it was much more prominent. But I went with the smaller arch over here on the side, which was an idea that I already had really quick in developing the main street. And you know, I thought it was a nice touch to have it over there. So for some reasons, though, these little texts on the walls, for some reason, it brings it a little bit too alive. Like people are actually living here. Oh, we're stuck. No, we're not. So yeah, that just brings it a little bit alive. I might add some flags from the top of the buildings to the other side as well. That's actually quite a good idea that I just came up with myself. Well, you might see that in the next episode where we rework the entrance again. No, we are not going to do that. Come on. So, sorry, like I said, this is really snarky. I'm sorry, I'm not like that. I'll leave that to the bros. Anyway, we'll continue down the main street. As I said, it's not really that much of a big main street. It's just a small street, and the big work is, well, over here. We'll just go over here. We have this lovely pavilion, which was in the previous version as well. Actually, I haven't really said that. I think most of the stuff that is in the main street was actually in the previous version as well. I keep the best buildings, and I still think it really adds up. And yeah, I'm just happy with it. So that, yeah, I kept most of the buildings. I didn't start from scratch entirely, so I did a little bit of cheating. But yeah, this is the pavilion, which previously I wanted to have the gift shop in it, or at least a part of the gift shop. But actually, I thought it was quite nice to have like a coffee shop in there. So this is the Half Moon Bay Bakery. You will get the Half Moon Bay in a second. This is just a small coffee shop. Like, for example, you start your day and you are a bit grumpy, and you want to get a cup of coffee before starting going to coasters or the dark rides or just the carousel because you have little kids or something. I don't know. I don't blame. I don't judge you. You just need your coffee. Then you can come over here and get maybe like a sandwich or just a small pastry or something. I don't know. So that's that over there. Just a small little coffee shop. There is actually a coffee shop hidden somewhere backstage. So people actually buy something over there. Of course, they clip with the scenery, but it's a nice little touch. And whoa, what happened? Okay, well, I'm going to do it from here. So the portal, which I showed you the other side from, is over here. It's not really much to it. Like I said, it's a straight to park crossing, so you can go to the park straight away. And of course, there is a little big stage area over here. Can I please come off? No, please. Okay, so we were here. This is the other side of the gift shop. I will show the interior of that in a little bit. I think it's a nice little touch, brings it all a bit more to life, and it really sticks up the park out. Like, it's insane. I'm really not sure why I'm doing this actually, but it's the main street, or the main street. This is the main street, of course. That is the interior for the gift shop. I'm still thinking of a sign down here. This balcony is really small, so I'm not really sure what to do with it. I previously had this Half Moon Bay Bakery as a sign, but it's way too big for this balcony, so I might do something different, maybe something up here. I'm not really sure. There is a souvenirs sign on the other side as well, of course, but from this side you don't really see that this is a souvenir shop. So I need something to attract people in here, because of course they need to buy something. Then we have this little building over here with, of course, like it was in the previous version, some beers, of course. The White Center, Rubel, Extra Hop, Bandits Ale, Sylph Cider. And there were more previously, but I thought 4 will do, especially with the sideline from down here. The tree is kind of blocking the text a little bit, so there is just 50 plus beers, 15 dwarf beers, only at Lost Explorer Cafe, which coincidentally happens to be next door. How crazy is that? Because I thought about this, and it makes sense to me that, you know, of course, when you're coming back from this side of the park, you would see the entrance and the logo of the Lost Explorer Cafe right away. But if you're coming from this side of the park, you don't see that. So I might add an extra text down here. It's like around the corner, but I'm not. Yeah, well, it makes sense to have it on this side and not on the other. Anyway, just some weird logic that I'm saying. So this is the Lost Explorer Cafe again, a little bit based on something that is in the Island of Adventure, which is also a cafe. So this is going to, well, this in my imagination there is no interior because it's just way too cramped. It's just a small footprint. In my imagination, this is the sit-down restaurant, the two-story. So restaurants, we have the one on the main floor, and then there's also some seating area on the top floor over here as well. So because of this a smaller footprint, I imagine they could use all the space they need. So 2 floors. So yeah, that's it. That's a restaurant. We have this nice little thing over here, and this is like a backstage entry. So it's a nice little thing, and I'm actually quite happy with how it turned out. And yeah, you know, the fun thing is, I was kind of struggling with how to end it over here, because this is of course the end of the main street, and there's, well, I needed to have a backstage area, or well, I wanted to have a backstage area and a passage to it. And I thought, well, I could do one, but then again, it would kind of open up this area, and I wanted to have it a little bit more enclosed with foliage. So I thought, okay, well, what I could do was just put on a simple wall, have like a storage unit over here inside of this, and then have a door which leads out to this area. Now I can hear some of you realism junkies like myself. Well, how would they empty the bins and stuff like that? Well, I don't know. It's magic, I guess. I don't really know. I imagine like there are some garbage stuff over here as well. So I imagine they collected it at the front, and whenever they empty it, they come collect it outside, and they don't come over here. But well, I don't really know. Maybe there is some stuff happening over there. I don't know. Maybe they throw it on the plates and serve it to the guests. I don't know. I don't know. Just leave me alone. Okay, so we have this drinks and fruit little stand over here. I might add another one on the other side of the street, just to keep the guests going. And then we have, of course, this small little looking point over here, and then another one over here. So you can just see the sun come up, because it comes up right around here, I think. So you can watch the sun come up when you are a special event or something. Or this can be a viewing platform for the fireworks show that's going to be here. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not, but I might try it. I haven't really played around with the sequencer or anything. So yeah, that's something that I might do. I'm not really sure. And then this is basically a view of Main Street. It's quite compact, much smaller than the previous version. I quite like it that way. So yeah, then you can go in 3 different directions after the Main Street. Of course, you can go to the left. This is probably heading to the Western New England frontier fantasy type of area. Which I'm testing out right now if I really like that style. Maybe you've seen something on it. So that's going to go to the left. Then on the right we have a little coaster over here that I've been working on, a lounge coaster. Oh, my thing is blocking, sorry. This is just some testing out. The layout is, or at least this turnaround just behind the trees, is final. But I'm not really sure how I'm going to fit in the rest of the layout with that. I want to keep it a bit compact, so it probably will go around here, the rest of the layout that is. And then keep it open from here. I'm not really sure how the entire layout is going to look or anything, so we'll see about that. And this is just a little test. I was thinking of a little bit more industrial volcano type of thing, but I'm not really sure if that really is the direction that I want to. And then of course there is this small path over here. This isn't the main path like these two are. This is just a small little thing they can go bypass to one of the bigger coasters if you want, which is going to be over here. And this is probably going to be like a Viking or Scandinavian type of area, much like the Scandinavian Iceland area in EuropaPark. So with Blue Fire and Wodan and that type of thing. I'm not really sure how it's going to look, but there's probably going to be a wooden coaster over here. Probably it's going to be a GCI one inspired by Wodan and Troy, if you're familiar with those. And otherwise, look them up. They're really cool. So yeah, that is basically it. All I have to show you. Like I said, I'm sorry for all the jank and the snarking comments. I'm just really done with this entire area, and I'm so happy that it's finally finished. And I know it took some time, and I know it, I know that I took my time with this, and I'm going to keep doing that in the future. I'm not really sure when the next episode is going to drop. It might be next week, it might be in a year, somewhere in between maybe. I'm not really sure. I'm just going to go with my own pace, and when I have something to show that I'm proud of and don't do 10 times, I will show it to you guys. Until then, you have to keep watching these 4 episodes of the same thing over and over and over again. But I promise you that next episode we are definitely going to move forward, and I'm probably thinking of starting with the Western Frontier New England type of area, because I'm just working on it right now, testing some stuff out, and I feel a little bit more confident working on that than say this coaster and the GCI Woody over here. So probably going to go over there. What that area is going to contain, maybe a coast, maybe a flume, maybe a rapids, maybe a dark ride, I'm still not really sure. I'm just testing some stuff out, and after I'm happy with what the direction is theming wise, I'm going to plan out some rides over there, and you will probably see that in the next episode. But like I said, I'm not sure when that is going to air. Just not sure. Anyways, that is all the time that I'm having right now. I've been quite stretching this episode actually, so I'm sorry again for all the jank and snarky stuff, and that's just all of it that I'm having right now. Thank you so much for being patient with me, checking out this if you're new. Just thank you so much for sticking around or coming to check my stuff out. I really like it where this is going. I'm very content with the Main Street as it turned out, and I'm not going to change it. If I ever do, just slap me in the face, show me this clip, and play me for it, because I'm not going to change this. Okay, that's a promise. I'm getting slapped in the face. Yes, I am. Sorry. Okay, so that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to keep up with all the updates, news, info, random stuff, follow me on Twitter, follow me on, subscribe to my channel. Maybe you'll catch the live stream sometime, maybe a video or something. I don't really know what's going to happen. And otherwise, come hang out on Discord with me. It's going to be fun. I will keep posting over there as well, so you can keep my progress over there. And otherwise, I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Have a nice evening. Enjoy these cinematics, and bye bye.